Hey Jayce, welcome to Liminal 24 Hours, a game where there's two strangers talking. I believe they are both female, so I need to work on my female voice because it's very annoying. Okay, let's start. There's no music. Editing Jayce, add music. I've been staring down the beam of my own headlights for so long, it felt like I couldn't see anything else. Those two lit up circles were burned into my retinas, and everything around them was pitch black. It had gotten dark hours ago, and this stretch of dusty highway in the middle of bum-ass nowhere didn't have much in the way of streetlights. Somewhere between hour 3 and hour 4, my back had started to scream at me, and by hour 5, the empty energy drink in my cup holder was just a distant memory. Now we were into hour 6, and I still had at least 2 more to go. 2 more hours? What do you want to do? What are you gonna do with the 2 hours? The radio droned away in my ears, but I heard static more than actual music. The reception was abysmal here, and my phone had died hours ago. That awful noise was probably the only thing keeping me awake though. Why am I trying to stay awake? It was a struggle just to keep my eyes open, and that struggle became even harder when I passed through a mountain tunnel that didn't feel nearly as well lit as it should have been. After my irritation wore off though, I realized I knew this tunnel, and more to that point, I knew that what was on the other side. As soon as I broke through the other side of the tunnel, I saw it sitting there, a lit up little oasis, against the pitch black desert around it. The yellow glow from the windows was inviting, though it was overpowered with the tacky neon letters, blazing against the enormous sign towering over the building itself. Very, descriptive, okay? 24-hour diner, it read, as if there were anyone within 100 miles to advertise to. Why am I here? I stumbled across this place a few times in the past. Why am I traveling so much? A bizarre little landmark on an otherwise desolate expanse. Yeah, that burrito I had in this diner is great. The diner nestled between 2 mountains. You had to drive through a tunnel to get to it, and you had to drive through another tunnel to leave. Inside the decor was tacky and outdated, less retro and more genuinely untouched relic of decades past. I like that it's italized. Okay, the coffee was mediocre, but it did its job. The food had been delicious the one time I tried it, but 2 hours later I'd been writhing on the ground with stomach cramps. I'd never made that mistake again. But right then, I needed a caffeine boost. I always need those, before I veered off the road and got myself killed, so it would suffice. I turned my blinker on, like there was actually anyone to signal to, and I raced off the gas. Eventually, I don't even know if I'm a girl, and I'm getting tired of this voice. There was only a single other car, sporty and red, and as I pulled up alongside it, I could tell the tires were deflated, well past where they should have been. Whoever owned it hadn't been taking good care of it. My own car sounded relieved when I finally shut the engine off for the first time in hours. Though my legs were less thrilled when I tried to put weight on them. I took a few stumbling steps across the pavement before I was actually able to get my footing and make my way to the front root cabin. Okay, deserts are cold at night. Yep, that's one of those things you read in a book somewhere when you're 10. Yep, I did. But you don't actually appreciate it until you're in that situation yourself. True enough. Hey, I don't know if I'm a girl or a boy. I'm probably androgynous. I look androgynous at the very least. The short walk across the parking lot already had me shivering, and the wall of warm air that hit me as soon as I stepped inside was a welcome change of pace. The jingle bell over the door announced my arrival, but the employee behind the register didn't seem to care. The woman sitting at the corner was a different matter. Oh, that one actually looks like a woman. I'm sorry for making that statement. She looked toward her, and her eyebrows raised up for a moment before a look of recognition set in. That I meant that I could easily tell. Immediately she started beaming, and she raised a hand to wave enthusiastically. If there was any way I could have missed her when she was the only person there. Well, hello, stranger. Well, howdy, stranger. Howdy, stranger. She wasn't being coy by calling me that. We really were strangers, but most people don't call strangers strangers, so that's pretty coy, more or less. I knew her well enough to know her name was Margaret, but that was about the extent of it. Then you're not really strangers. She just happened to be here every time I stopped through in the past, and we'd have a few passing conversations. At a certain point, I started to wonder if she owned this place, but I tossed that suspicion aside a while ago. Why are you always here? You some kind of vampire or some shit? I nodded at her greeting, sliding onto the stool next to her. Evening. It's 2 a.m. Avery. My name is Avery. I don't even know, that sounds androgynous as well. I think we're passing a bit past evening. Well, saying goodnight sounds stupid. We don't really sleep. We're like nocturnal and shit. And it's a little early for a good morning. It is morning technically. Fine, good morning. You happy, little bitch? Elated. Margaret winked a taunting wink, and I flagged the server over, asking for a cup of coffee. Out of the corner of my eye, I could see Margaret looking at me up and down. When I was done ordering, she spoke again. So what brings you here this time? Long drive. Just stopping in for a quick break. You look awfully sharp. Special occasion? Just came from a funeral. Yeah, I was the one being buried, but I see. Excuse me, waiter. Could I get another glass of water? I need something to wash down this foot in my mouth. I ate an actual foot. I'm a zombie, by the way. What a coincidence. I'm a vampire. That's why we're nocturnal. Okay. The employee behind the counter came over to refill Margaret's water cup. Maybe they didn't get the obvious joke. I didn't get the obvious joke. You're fine. It's not a big deal. Oh, I'm sure the deceased would love to hear you say that. Well, we weren't exactly close. Yeah, me and myself. I was the one in the funeral, so... an old distant friend or something like that? My brother. Well, that's kinda messed. Not really, but that means that he's not close to they're not close to her brother. Margaret didn't respond to that. She just stared at me and then raised an water cup. She took a few long, slow gulps, like... Okay, maintaining eye contact with me the whole time. It actually made me laugh in spite of myself. Probably the first time all day that I had. You weren't close to your brother? No shit, I just told you. I mean, you know, it's not like we hated each other or anything. But we weren't exactly best friends either. Didn't have that much in common. Saw each other once or twice a year at family gatherings, texted each other happy birthday, that kind of thing, but that was about it. Even then, I'm still sorry to hear that. It must be difficult. My first instinct was to dismiss Margaret again, but after a second I stopped myself. If you can't be honest with a perfect stranger in a roadside diner at 2 in the morning, who can you be honest with? Huh. That's a decent point. Huh. Since you really have to hide yourself in front of someone that doesn't really know you. Interesting. I don't know if difficult is the right word, it's more like bizarre. Margaret nodded off and I could tell she was waiting for me to continue. After taking a few seconds to formulate my thoughts, I did. It's weird to think that he's gone, you know. I didn't really feel sad when I heard the news. Didn't feel much of anything, honestly. And I thought being at a funeral would make it finally set in, but not really. But then I get to think about the fact that he just won't be there next Christmas. And the New Year's. And the Christmas after that. And he used to always dress up as Santa. He's the only one that really likes to dress up as Santa. He has a real big fat belly. And I was like, oh yeah, that guy looks like Santa. What? And I won't get a happy birthday text from him next month. And it's just fucked up. That is fucked up. So you're truly a modern day philosopher. Yeah. Sorry I'm not processing my brother's deck in a poetic enough way for you. Good point. We're making this as realistic as possible. Two people talking? It's not gonna be very poetic. Fudge, what did I press? Apology accepted, but do try to not let it happen again. I rolled my eyes, but I don't think Margaret was watching. Do you wish you'd been closer to him? If it was my own brother. Let's just put it that way. I'm kind of close to him, but not exactly, so we're kind of... Yeah, I mean, a little late to say that now, right? And of course, I'm gonna feel that way now that he's gone. Now that I can wish we were closer. And never actually have to follow through on it. But it's been on my mind at least these past few days. If there was ever a chance we could have been closer if we just put in the effort or found the right thing to bond over, that's gone now. And that's so hard to wrap my mind around. He was younger than me, and I've lived a pretty stupid, reckless life. So I don't think the possibility of outliving him was ever even in my mind, really. I just figured he would be there forever, you know? A constant. The idea that I just wake up one morning and he'd be gone felt impossible. Even if the person we care about isn't younger than us, that's always the case, isn't it? Like, especially with family? Yeah, that does make sense. Especially with family, because it's always there. Like, you most likely grew up together, so it's like, they're always there. It's never gonna be gone. So when they're suddenly gone, that's a pretty normal way to feel, I think. It's one thing when a 90-year-old grandparent dies, but it's another when someone his age passes. Yep! I can only imagine how abrupt and unexpected it must have been. And for all that as strange as advice is worth, I don't think there's anything wrong with feeling the way you feel either. It's only natural to miss things once they're gone. Thank you, Margaret. You're a nice gal. I'm sorry for calling you a bitch, you bitch. I'm sorry. It feels stupid, kinda dishonest, I guess. It feels wrong to miss him now that I never missed him before. That is a very human thing to feel. I don't think that's a fair way to look at it. You probably don't think too much about your favorite chair after all. But if you get home one day and it had been vanished up your when you've either said 1,000,000 times or more, don't know where it's gone, it ain't there. I'm not sure I like the part where you compare my dead brother to an office chair, but thanks. Anytime. I can compare your mother to an office chair as well. I can compare your mother to a pillow. Always on my bed. I'm sorry. You've been having a rough go of it recently, though, haven't you? What was it the last time we saw you? When was the last time we saw you? Briefly, my mind flitted back to the last time we had spoken, sitting in these exact same seats. Breakup. I'd just been dumped. Okay, I don't really know. She might be bi. They might be bi. They might be gay. So I don't know if this is a girl or a... Right, that was it. Does it matter though? Does it matter? It could matter. Because of that. Because of saying that they got dumped, that might matter. Right, that was it. How is that been going? Not bad, I'm seeing someone else now. Already? You don't waste any time, do you? The breakup was 6 months ago. That's like... old. Was it really? My, how time flies. A long the conversation followed. The server gave me my coffee and I took a cautious sip. It was scalding hot, which was good. Yes! Someone who agrees with me. When you burn your tongue on the coffee in the first sip, that means the heat is good. It helped mask the bitter taste. Okay, that's wrong. Part of the goodness of coffee is the bitterness of it. Tell me about them. Your new partner, what are they like? How did you meet them? She owns a bookstore. Funny, you don't strike me the bookish type. Because I'm not. I was out shopping for manga. For a present. He was a weeb. Sorry. I tried to pick myself back up briefly. No point in letting myself stall. I went in and asked her for recommendations. Right off the bat, she could tell I didn't have a fucking clue what I was talking about. She helped me out, but the whole time she kept giving me shit and making fun of me for being a little illiterate bitch. I'm sorry for swearing too much. And you were into that. Obviously. wait, what? Whoa, what? Well, if it ended with you getting her phone number, I guess I can't give you too much shit for it. Well, I grimaced, remembering the rest of that memory. I didn't, not right away. After I left her, I really want to see her again. So I went back there a week later, and she was working again, and I spun up some bullshit about how she was right that I wasn't well read enough, and how I wanted to fix that. So you lied about yourself. Great! She brought me all around the store giving me recommendations, rambling. Yeah, you don't really care, but that's kind of a bad start to a relationship. About all these different books she loved and shoveling them onto me. And then, right after I bought almost $100 worth of books from her, showed me that if I wanted to ask her out, I could have just done it. Ha! Ah, nice. I admire opportunism. Did you ever read books? Ah, fudge, I keep pressing the right click. Yeah, stayed up way too late the night before our first date, burning them to one of them. At least I have the motivation for it. I have I did it. That captivating? Not really, just wanted to impress her. Okay, did it work? Not at all, she just laughed at me. She sounds like a keeper. Yeah, she does, and I don't. Yeah, we've only been dating a couple months, but I really think she is. Like, a couple months, I mean 6 months, you know, right after I broke up with the other girl. I really think she is. Not to get all sappy and cliche, but I think she might be the one. After like 6 months. Seriously, dude. That one. I didn't realize he was such a hopeless romantic. I like that she keeps winking. Normal people don't keep winking. Go to hell! I kinda don't want to censor anything anymore because they keep swearing. Oh, but I just ordered another round of hash browns before it came in. Margaret said that, but the plate in front of her looked long since picked clean, and there wasn't any indication that anyone was preparing her anything else. My own coffee has cooled enough to actually. No, that's not how you drink coffee. I'm sorry, that's not true. I regretted that as soon as I hit my tongue. Hey, you should talk more about yourself. Huh? I mean, I'm sitting here talking about my real relationship and my dead brother and all that shit, and I'm not letting you get a word in edgewise. I'm realizing I barely know a thing about you. Maybe that's why you keep calling me strangers. Sure, but are you surprised by that? Should it not be? It's just that's always the way our conversations go. You come in here and pull up a seat. You ramble whatever's on your mind while you sip a cup of coffee, and then you're back on the road. You never stick around for long. Well, shit. That made me sound like a real asshole. Oh, fucking bullshit. I don't want to censor anything anymore. Not at all. If I actually wanted to talk to you about stuff, I could, but I like the way our little exchanges go. It's fun getting these periodic updates about your life. You've got a knack for storytelling. Well, that's not true at all. Margaret just smiled back at me, and it took a few seconds while I tried to figure out whether I wanted to push the topic further. I couldn't tell whether she was deliberately being evasive or whether she was acting coy. There's a difference between not caring about talking about herself and not wanting to, and I couldn't decide whether it'd be more rude to ask her or not. Eventually my ass moved to her hands, finding something that felt like a safe topic. Can I ask you something? Why are your hands like that? They're like all over the text screen, the text box. I can't stop you. I see a wedding ring. Are you married? As soon as I asked that, Margaret tensed, her expression turned somber, and she kept her eyes away from me, staring holes into her empty plate instead. I thought it was a safe topic, but suddenly it was clear it was one of the worst things I could have asked about. When she answered, I understood why. Divorced, actually. Then why are you still wearing the ring? Ah, shit. Why do you guys keep swearing? Now I'm the one who needs a glass of water. It's fine, it's a fair assumption, considering I'm still wearing this thing around. What happened? It sounds a bit... Yeah, it's not... Okay. What happened? You're just coming right out and asking that, are you? You asked me about a break at my brother's funeral, seems fair. Fine then, I cheated on him, I hit him. Oh, I was just using him for his money. I started fights over anything. I said things I knew would hurt him because it gave me a rush. I said things I knew would make him angry because I loved getting a rise out of him. I told him I was perfect, he was worthless and he deserved. Oh, I'm sorry for saying sorry about calling you a bitch, you bitch. Were you a compulsive liar too? Oh, how did you know? The truth must be pretty awful if you'd rather let me believe all that. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. Good analysis. Well, that's just the thing. The truth's not awful at all. He fell out of love with me. Plain and simple. Oh, I'm sorry for being not sorry about being sorry for calling you a bitch, you wonderful woman. And that's almost more unbearable, isn't it? I mean, if it was just one specific thing I'd done, or even a few specific things I'd done, at least I'd have something to focus on, you know? If I really had cheated on him, or started some stupid fight, or started mimicking your voice, or said something that could hurt him so badly he could never forgive me, at least I could focus on that. I could point to that one specific part of myself that was flawed, and I could promise myself that I was going to fix that and I would never do those things. again, and I would probably obsess over it, sure, but at least I'd only have a single thing to obsess over. Wow! What? That's okay. But when I don't know when I don't know what I did that made us fall apart, my thoughts just end up everywhere and start picking through every single thing I ever said or did, wondering where the hell I went wrong. I could have been the perfect wife, and I could have said that and done almost everything right, and God knows I wasn't, but I could have been. And it still wouldn't have been enough, and that's where it starts to think, maybe I wasn't enough, and you know how unbearable that is? That just hurts. It just hurts. Also, I like the fact that, me, Avian, Bird. So, apparently I understand it well enough that you would lie about that. Okay, that's actually good. So yeah, we are technically not strangers in this case, and technically are at the same time. To feel like a problem is you, to feel it's just who you are, it's one thing to think about you have flaws, or to think that some part of you is broken and needs to be fixed, but it's another thing to be told that you're just not good enough, that you're nothing, that you're not worth being loved. I'm sorry, really sorry for calling you that. What do I say about this? Yeah, it's... I can't really start talking about this until I start talking about my own issues about this, bro. So maybe later. And I'm obsessed over it, trying to figure out what I could have done that would have made things better. Even though I know the only way I could have fixed this was by being a completely different person. Ah! Girl, you're hitting me. You're the one hitting me right now emotionally, because I kind of feel that. I know, I understand that. And how the hell am I supposed to change that? How am I supposed to feel okay when I've been told I'm so fundamentally worthless that I don't deserve my own happiness? Well, I wasn't told. Well, a few times. Yeah, I've been told a few times. How am I supposed to move on from that? How, Avery? How? Margaret is starting to get choked up at this point. I heard her voice start to break and tears were running down her face. I didn't know what to say, but fortunately it became clear she didn't need me to say anything. After a few seconds, she left a weak, shaky laugh, and she forced a smile to her face. She raised her hands and began fanning at her eyes, trying to dry her tears without ruining her makeup. I'm sorry. This is why I don't like to talk about myself. Once you open the floodgate, it's awfully hard to let up again. It's alright. It was probably good to get it out of your chest. Certainly doesn't feel that way. You're not over it, are you? Margaret laughed at that. But a playful note that usually punctuated her laughter was absent. This laugh was sharp and bitter, and I could tell how forced it was. But keep that away. Pretty much everything you just said like 5 seconds ago. Wasn't hard to guess. Well, not much point in lying about it now, is there? It's been difficult. Really difficult. It's not a sort of thing you just get over in a day. I mean, it's probably not just a day, right? Sorry. Sorry. I decided not to comment on that. I did. You're welcome, Avery. It's hard, you know. It's hard to feel like you had your entire life figured out. Like you knew exactly what it was, where it was headed, only to have just ripped out from underneath you. Your whole plan and your perfect future was shattered. And you're left cutting your fingers and all the jagged little pieces where you tried to form into something new. I like how we started this off saying that Avery is not poetic enough. She's being very poetic. Your fingers look fine to me. It's a metaphor, you idiot. I know. Aw, that's sweet. That's sweet. Fine, I'm just not ready yet. Is that what you want to hear? All still feels so fresh. The thought of trying to move on feels like giving up. If I can move forward and have a happy life even after a marriage falls apart, then what does that say about that marriage in the first place? If I can find somebody else who makes me happy the way he made me happy, what does that say about how special he actually was? Whoa. You want him back? You want to find someone new? I'm going to look into the future. I don't believe that there's anything good. I don't believe they can come back together. And if they ever do, I don't believe that it will be a good relationship. Do you want to find someone new? You want to find someone new? I'm available. I just said I have a girlfriend. Oh shit. Not even a little bit. I felt that way in the past, where I've gone through a breakup and I immediately want to get out there and find a rebound, but it feels much different this time. Okay, we're actually in love with this bastard. I try to picture the sort of person I want to be with, and I can't imagine anyone but him. I try to picture someone new, and the thought of anyone else touching me or kissing me or sharing this quaint little domestic life with me feels disgusting. I hate it. Okay. I wanna tell stories about myself that I also don't. Well, maybe that's a good thing. Also, you want me to die alone? Yeah, obviously. Wonderful, thank you. I love the sarcasm. Really though, maybe it's a good thing your brain is trying to keep you from rebounding to a relationship before you figured out your own shit. Maybe it's protecting you. Good advice, very good. I'm the very straightforward one. She's kind of poetic. She says a lot of very sarcastic things. I answer with sarcasm, but immediately say something else. I like these characters. I like their interactions. The dynamic's really good. I wish it could protect me in a way that it didn't hurt me so badly. Yeah, we all do, but brains don't work that way. Brains are stupid. Horrible little bastards. Thank you. Rooting yourself in one place isn't going to do any good though. You have to realize that. Of course I do, but what else am I supposed to do? Start moving forward. Yes, start moving forward. You don't have to start moving forward romantically, but why are you always here in the diner in the middle of the night? Okay. Margaret laughed bitterly at that. I knew as I said how hollow my words were. Can I tell you a funny story? Sure. Yeah, please do. After divorce, there were these times when I just felt completely broken. I could barely even move. I couldn't make myself eat. I was asleep, but I couldn't. I would just sit there, staring at a wall, barely even registering that I was alive. Oh, crap. And then other times, it just suddenly become so much. All at once, it felt unbearable and crushing. It felt like I needed to leave. I felt like this was life. I felt like this life, like everything around me was overwhelming and suffocating. And I wanted to just run away and leave it all behind. I felt like I needed to do that. And I remember once, I was sitting in this very seat, nursing a cup of coffee, when one of those moments crept up on me out of nowhere. All of a sudden, the walls felt like they were closing in around me. I couldn't breathe. I knew I needed to be anywhere else. So I didn't even finish my coffee or pay my bill. I just turned and ran out the door. And I jumped into my car and I slammed my foot on the gas and I drove. It was dark and I didn't know where I was going, but I didn't care. As long as it wasn't here, that was all that mattered. But we returned, so... But that's the funny thing about setting off without a destination. I drove, and I drove, and I drove, and it didn't get me anywhere. Sooner or later, I found myself falling back from the front in the same diner. Okay, thank you for this metaphor. Rolling my car in the same spot, and once my episode was over, I stood up and I walked back inside and calmly sat down in the counter. That was my mistake. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't moving towards anything. There we go. Yeah, I knew it was a metaphor to this, but thank you. I was just running away from this, and the world can tell the difference. I don't know if you call that funny. Yeah, thank you for not laughing. Maybe not. I'm not sure what else to call it. It's better to just call it funny because it's easier to digest for her. I didn't know how to respond to that, but Margaret didn't seem like she was looking for an answer. We both went quiet for the next minute or two, until she looked over at my nearly empty mug. You seem like you're almost finished with your coffee. Yeah, but I was thinking about ordering food. No, you weren't. Well, I'm not about to leave, not after that. I'm so straightforward. And she's like the complete opposite of that. You don't need to stick around on my account, Avery. Is Avery a female or male name? I really shouldn't judge, but I really want to know if she actually has a gender that she calls herself. You've had a long day, and you've probably been driving for a while. You probably still have quite a way to go too. You should head off before it gets too late. If I get up now, will you too? Margaret smiled, but didn't reach her eyes. Talking about all of this has dredged up some rather unpleasant memories. I'm not sure if I'm in a condition of driving right now. And in an hour or two, we'll see about that. I'll wait with you, probably. I'll wait with you. I'll wait with you. I'll wait with you. Avery, I'll sit here right next to you until you're ready to leave. I can't ask you to do that. You're not asking me. I'm saying I will. You're not ah! Hell yeah. Thank you, Avery. It might be a while. I don't mind. It could take days. This is over 24 hours anyway. Please don't do this, Avery. Please don't make me the reason you're stuck here. Well, what the hell am I supposed to do? Just get up and walk off without you? Yes, you have a life to getting back to. You have a lovely sounding girlfriend who I'm sure misses you very much. You're a frustratingly kind person. Yes, Avery is. And you want to help. And I understand that. But if you throw all that way on my behalf, I don't think I'll ever be able to forgive myself. No, I don't care. I'm doing this for me. I didn't know what to say after that. Margaret didn't either. From the looks of it, we both just sat there letting silence overtake us. After a minute, I reached my hand out, resting it on the counter between us. Margaret looked at it for a moment before she reached her own hand out to take it. She placed her fingers into mine. I'm cheating on my girlfriend, and squeezed my hand tightly. That's not true, I'm sorry. And that touch said more than any of us could. All that was left of my coffee now was a residue against the bottom of the cup. The server either didn't notice it was empty or didn't care. Maybe they just didn't want to interrupt the moment. They were nice like that. Avery? Yeah? What do you suppose is the other side of the mountain? Happiness, acceptance, happiness. I believe acceptance. There's something that I always say, especially in my other channel, which is better. And that happiness isn't our main goal in life. It's becoming who we are. It's spreading our wings and becoming who we actually are. We don't have to be happy after that, but we can be. Ooh, acceptance! Acceptance. Acceptance, that's all you're offering? It's supposed to be the last stage of grief, right? It's not joy or excitement, it's just acceptance. And I think that's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. I can't promise everything's gonna be great. I can promise you. Oh, that's good. That's good. We can't promise happiness all the time. I can promise you're gonna have a perfect life. I don't know what's up ahead for you, but I at least know that sooner or later you'll have all this figured out. I think you have much more faith in me than I have in myself. That's usually the case with people who are depressed like you. I think that's normal. Actually, not just people who are depressed, but pretty much everyone. Our conversation lulled again after that. Both of us going quiet. I was dreading hearing Margaret speak again because I knew what she would say when she did. She let another minute pass, and she finally said what I was afraid of hearing. She really kept going. I don't want to. I know, but that's how you know it's time. I hated that I couldn't argue with her. Yeah, alright. I squeezed Margaret's hand tightly one more time and I finally let go and slid off my stool. I, gender, whatever, I want to know. Am I really that just androgynous? Okay. I reached into my pocket and fished out a few dollars leaving the counter, and then turned and walked towards the door. I reached it out and pushed it open. The jiggling of the bell was accompanied with a wall of cold night air. I paused there, before looking over my shoulder to get one last look at Margaret. She was watching me. She raised an eyebrow when I looked at her. Hey Margaret! Yes? No thanks the wrong way, but I really hope I never get to see you again. That's kind of open-ended. Thanks for playing. Don't forget to save your game. Save. Save. I really hope I never get to see you again. What? Let's go to the main menu. I'm gonna try to do the other options. There's like 3 options. It's okay. Is there no skip? Oh, there's no skip. Never mind. I won't do that. So it's kind of open-ended. Why does why do they never want to see Margaret again? I kind of want to end this in a positive light and say that Margaret is better now, and she doesn't have to always come to this diner in the middle of the night doing nothing. I'm hoping that's it. I can't think of any other reason, to be honest. Maybe if I look into the other endings. Not really endings, but I think there's only one ending, right? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, I like this. This is really cool. So, I like that it started off like really descriptive describing the entire scenery. So we got this little thing where it's just not much. It's not much. It's a diner. The mountains are like that. There's not much detail to it, but the words and what paint all the pictures in it. It's a very special place, and by special it means it's so special because they meet there. Oftentimes, not really that often, but he also passes through this all the time. So he probably travels. They probably travel a lot, or something like that. Yeah, they probably travel a lot, and then yeah, or maybe their work is on the road, but that's too far away. What would that be the case? So I'm guessing he travels. So this is a big spot for him. So yeah, we get all this entire explanations. Okay, and we see Margaret. Hello, stranger. Okay. From a funeral. We start off with the funeral, brother, everything. Okay, I'm just gonna go to the main menu while I'm doing this. Okay, so brother, funeral. So we understand that they always talk, but it's always Avery that just talks about herself. I'm pretty sure she's a ghost, to be honest. I'm not sure. And then Margaret just sit there, nods, drinking water, and that's their conversation. And the moment that Avery actually says something, they actually go deep into Margaret, and their dynamic's really cool because it's like Avery, straightforward, kind-hearted, very says whatever the hell she wants to say, and Margaret is just like, I'm very sarcastic, I would lie to you all the time. Okay, yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool dynamic. So that actually caught me off guard when she said that she hits her husband. I actually thought that was the case. Sorry about that. But yeah, okay, it's cool. I mean, I end off on a weird note actually. Yeah, I like this. I just thought that's it for me for now. Yeah, that's it. Bye.